What's going on, truth seekers? Welcome to an episode of the Zen Gen podcast. You already know what it is. This is episode 7. You know, the heat is blasting in the background, so be prepared for all that static noise. It is like 20 degrees, 18 degrees, something like that in New York right now, so the heat's gonna go. So I took off last week because I was just, I'm not gonna front, I was just very tired. And, it was a matter of, I put this on my page and on our Zen Gen podcast page that you just have to honor your body. If it's telling you to relax and chill, then you do that. Don't always have to be on autopilot all the time. Unless it's necessary. So I hope some of you saw that post. If not, if you did, I hope you apply that for yourselves. So this episode's going to be, a little more, I'm not really sure where it's going to go, but it might be short and sweet, but I at least wanted to hop on here just to, talk about a few things that really touched my heart. Obviously this episode is coming after the Los Angeles fires. And if you watched or listened to my previous episode about energy harvesting and energy transference, it all applies to the Los Angeles fires. And so I was very vocal on social about not feeding into the destruction and the despair, and more so pushing the narrative of helping one another, sharing information of how you can donate, uplifting energy, because that's exactly what they want to do. Yes, we're going right into it. That's exactly what they want you to do, to be in that energy of sadness, fear, all those low vibrational energies, which you've heard me say time and time again, right? On this podcast. So, let's keep that going. Let's keep on sharing how we can assist with what's happening over there, what's happened over there, the rebuilding of that beautiful city, which they are going to come back better and stronger than ever. And, before I begin, listen, you might see this on my table right now. If you're listening on the podcast, I have a deck on my table. So I'm going to try something new each time I'm on my podcast. I'm going to pull a card from my deck. It's one of my favorite decks. And it's going to be a message from my spirit team, to the collective that's listening and watching. So the message for the week, or a message that might apply to their life, whatever it might be. So we're going to do that at the end of each episode. Okay. But circling back to, the LA fires and what was going on, a lot's been going on with that. Right. So shouts out to Lord, I forget her name, Erin. I follow her on social media. Here's the thing too. People who are spiritual or tapped in, we all have different guides. We all get different types of messages, right? So her messages that came in for her through her team, and I'm just relaying it to you, is that, Mother Earth is purging right now, right? Which is something I've said before too on previous episodes about the cleansing of the earth, exposing the darkness, the evilness, and just clearing things out. So because Mother Gaia has been sitting in this low vibrational energy, having it within her for so long, and now picture like a pressure cooker, right? Or pipes that have a lot of pressure. Eventually, if there's too much pressure, it's gonna explode, right? So that's what was happening in terms of the energy it was lying in her for so long that it had to release. And yes, through these eruptions, and you see it around the world too, and not just the fires, just a lot of natural disasters that are, some are naturally made, some are man-made. Yes, we'll go there in another episode. But for this particular one, that was the effect. And where Los Angeles is located, they're located on a ley line. On the flip side, see, I don't want to get banned right now on YouTube where they take my video down or get reported because they do shit like that. But I'm going to say is that that was also created. All right. And I think there's been videos going around showing individuals starting fires, right? There was a big agenda behind that too. In any case, we already know what's popping off with Hollywood right now. There's a lot of sinister, dark, disgusting, heinous things happening. All right? All I'm going to say is just along the lines of what you're seeing going on in the media right now, in the headlines, a lot of that, but even worse, okay? Even worse. And so the best way to get rid of any information of that magnitude is to clear it, right? And so you put it together however which way you want it. But I'm talking about this because this episode is about outside of that. I just felt the need to share that with you guys because I've been sitting on it and it had to be said. So but outside of that, I'm absolutely loving and overjoyed seeing the unification when it comes to the Los Angeles fires. People from around, I was almost brought to tears when I saw people traveling from all over the world I'm getting chills. Here we go. Coming to Los Angeles, okay? To assist and help with humanity, help the city. And I said this before, not on this podcast, but on my radio show when I do my Zen Gen, words of wisdom, little snippets and shit like that. I said, this is the beauty, the silver lining when it comes to catastrophic events the world goes through. Like, somehow it brings us all together, right? Don't matter what we look like, don't matter where we're from, our economic status, doesn't matter what political party we're in. At that moment in time, we are all one, the human race. And we all come together to help each other. And it's so beautiful to witness. But what I do want to say is, I hope, and I have faith that it's going to happen, that we not only come together during times of strife, during times of disaster. An event doesn't need to happen of this magnitude for us to be unified. I hope you all can take a step back and see the power in what's happening right now. It sucks it's at the expense of Los Angeles and people losing their homes and lives as well. But the unity is what's really keeping this energy, this high vibrational frequency up. Because like I said, that agenda was to bring that shit down. Poop! Like I said with the New Year's Eve episode, when I was talking about New Year's Eve, it was the same thing. It's just a a freaking cesspool for negative energies to come in and just leech onto people's energies. And another thing I'm very proud of when it comes to humanity is the unification over the TikTok ban. You see the power in coming together, what we can do. I mean, I hope y'all really are looking at this from that lens. Like, they want to keep us in separation, divided. We're stronger when we come together. It's harder for us to have that strength when we're all separated. And shouts out to everyone that has been really pushing that narrative of unification. Because I've seen other people posting shit like, like trying to create just conversation over issues that are not relevant right now to create that separation. Like, yo, come on now. Come on. How much shit is going on in this world? And there's still more to come this year. You're gonna get tired of continuing that conversation of separation. Continuing that conversation of different struggles. The superiority in a struggle, which I think is so fucking ridiculous when people do that. That's not to diminish the struggles of anyone, but to use that to create some sort of hierarchy in terms of struggle. We all need to have compassion for one another. We've all been through shit. All of us. Yes, some worse than others, but it all equates to pain. Pain is the same frequency. Hurt. Torture. All those, I don't want to keep saying these words because I don't want to bring that energy down, but they all have the same weight in terms of low vibrational energy. So, please, stop with the division. It's like, someone say, no, I got it worse. No, but I got it worse. But I had it worse. Like, using that for your ego. Like, it don't make no sense to me. But I say that to say that, like, I've been seeing a lot of that, and just stop. Stop it with that shit, please. Please. United, we are stronger as a human race. We're already being divided by the powers that be, by our circumstances that were actually created to create this division. We've seen too much going on in this world already to continue with that mindset. It's time to see each other as kin, as my brother, my sister. We are all the same race. The human race. I'm talking about species. When we think of race, let's not think of this anymore. You know, I say this, I really wish that, and we'll get there in the future, that people are seen by their aura, not by what they look like. Because then we'll know exactly where that person stands as a soul, as a spirit. Instead of judging people on their skin color or where they're from. You can see someone's aura, that's all you need to know. But that is to say, we are one race, humans, warring against each other, creating conflict, dividing one another. Yo, The beings that are looking at us from out there, they like, but why are they fighting with each other? They're like, don't they know they're the same? So why are they warring with each other? Why are they destroying their planet that they all occupy? You know what I mean? Think about it. So again, unifying. That needs to be our goal moving forward. Period. The strength in that. Not only with the LA fires, also with, the TikTok ban, right? Look what happened. They banned TikTok. And what did everyone on TikTok go and do? There's 170 million users on TikTok, okay? Outrageous. By the way, I fucking love TikTok. I need to find another app where I can use that's similar to it because I really, really enjoy it. And there's a whole other reason why they want to ban TikTok, right? But I'll get there in a second. But in terms of unification, people started downloading Red Note, which is an app that's used in China that's very similar to TikTok. Okay? It became the number one downloaded app in the App Store. That goes to show, again, what we can do when we all come together. Everyone, first off, is tight that TikTok's shutting down. All the users were like, yo, fuck this. You want to shut us down because of data? You're afraid the Chinese taking our data? We're about to go download this Chinese app. Don't know what the hell they're saying, what it says, because everything's in Mandarin, right? Chinese characters. But we're already here giving out our data to the government. Right? And all the other apps, everyone has our data. So people were like, here, fuck that. I'm downloading this. And yeah, the government's shooketh. They are shook. They're like, oh my God, this is not what we expected. My point in saying that is, don't matter what political side you're on, and don't matter what you look like people, when we come together, that shit is some fucking, I don't think people understand the weight of that. The frequency. Oof. The frequency. When we band together. Oof. Something serious. Getting chills. Is something serious. And it's just so heartwarming to see that. Because we've just been constantly drilled into our heads, our minds, to be separated, to judge. And here it's like all of us was like, yo, we coming together. There's too much going on right now. That's what we need moving forward. Because again, there's going to be more shit that's going to pop off. And they're going to continue to try to instill, again, division, separation, fear. Keep those spiritual eyes open, y'all. Keep that heart open too. But again, with the TikTok, it's like, first off, I need to say this too. Anyone who's saying, good, TikTok is shut down, now these creators can go get a job, yo, y'all are some bozos. Bozos. Do you know how hard it is to create content? You may not think so, but have you tried it? And I'm sure if you tried it, you are saying that probably because you are not or haven't gotten a lot of followers or a lot of views on your shit, or you're just cynical and a hater. Like, these people put a lot of effort into their content creation, and it takes work. Like, not everyone is gifted with creativity like that. Not everyone is. And a lot of creators have made, they're living off of creating content, just being them. That's what I love about TikTok. It's like it's normal, everyday people. It's not your fucking celebrity, right? That you see all over social media, that you see on TV and headlines. It's normal, everyday people like Joe Schmo that works for, I don't know, a shoe company at a shoe store can have a bazillion million followers because he just has great content. People love watching him. A single mother at home, or a mother just making food, recipes for the working mom. These are the people that become stars. Everyday people, which I fucking love. It's a different energy on TikTok than it is on any other platform. So I just had to bring that up because I saw haters saying that shit. I was like, yo, the fuck? Come on now. Chill. And it ain't even only about the content creators, like the content. This is what I was getting at. I'm sorry, I digress. The content on TikTok is why they want to shut this shit down. There are a lot of free thinkers on that platform, speaking their minds. A lot of people speaking truths. A lot of spiritual concepts and conversations going on in that app too. A lot of people that are tapped in, sharing information. Why do you think they want to shut that shit down? They don't want people to be awake. They don't. There's many reasons why they want to shut that down. Again, you connect who they is. I'm not going to get into that. It's like the vibrations on this planet has risen, and they're doing everything they can possibly do to stop all of this from happening. But all it's going to do is drive more people to want to know more, to question more, to connect with the light, God source creator. That's all that they're doing. They don't even realize it. Like, it's making people more awakened. But also, there's nothing to fear, y'all. I know there's going to be a lot that's going to happen. And you'll see, it's just going to be so much. It's going even to the people that are not awake or don't want to believe, it's going to get to a point where there's going to be so much happening. Like, we're not even going to be able to even have like a second to let it sit and marinate and rationalize what's going on before something else happens. Like, it's going to be that much. And eventually, even those people that are not quote unquote awakened or whatever, they're eventually going to be like, well, hold up, wait a minute, what? And like I say, all you need is that little spark in you, that little inquisitiveness, that curiosity, the questioning. That'll open the floodgate to connect, raise those vibrations, because it's going to create a domino effect. It's like Alice in Wonderland, you know how she opened the door and she walked and she opened another door and she kept on going down. You know what I mean? It's similar to that. It's going to lead to eventually the truth for these people that are not awakened, is what I'm saying. So, again, they're doing it without even knowing. But they're so desperate right now. That shit is sad as fuck. It's sad. It's like, it's just, woo. And across the board, you guys, it's going to be in every industry, all types. But there's also going to be a lot of innovation as well during these times. So that's also exciting. A lot of breakthroughs in different types of fields. And that's what the era of the Aquarius, or what Aquarius is innovation, it's justice, it's truth, creativity, it's harmony, it's all those things, right? Shouts out to my Aquarius gang, gang, gang. That's another thing too. My birthday's coming up in a few weeks. I'm just like, woo! I'm gonna drop an episode, something I'm going to share near around my birthday that I'm excited to share, and I'm gonna go in depth on it. But in any event, the last thing I want to talk about unification. On this day, as you're watching this or listening to this, 6 planets are aligning in the sky. It's just so funny. I'm talking about unification, and then the planets are also unifying, and so it's very interesting. But so Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn are all aligned in the sky. Now, when they can't exactly align in a direct line, it's impossible. I had to look this up myself, so that I could understand it clearly too. There's a spiritual significance to this, but on the technical side is, so when the planets are this close together, that means they're all on the same side of the sun. If you look in the sky, you can only see 4 of the planets: Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. So if you want to see Neptune and Uranus, you're going to need a telescope to see that. But you'll be able to see the other 4 planets. And they're not going to be like in a line with each other. They're going to be in different parts of the sky, but they're still like closely together where it looks like it's in alignment. So the last time, I think this happened last year as well. But what's crazy significant about this? Okay. Few things that's coming to me now. First is that the new moon, the Lunar New Year, is what people in my culture celebrate. In the Viet culture, we call it Tet, is next week. It just so happens that these 6 planets are aligning in the sky at the same time. It's a lot of cosmic energy coming in, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Next week's episode is going to be about the Lunar New Year because it's dropping on Lunar New Year. So I'm going to talk a lot about the moon and all of that. But so what's also significant is that in February, next month, there's going to be another planetary alignment. A 7th planet's going to come in and align in the sky. Mercury. So you have 7 planets on the same side, the sun. That's going down on February 28th. Super dope, super wild. So this month and February, the entire month of February, these 2 months are so powerful. So much cosmic energy will be here for us to feel and utilize. I'm reading some facts here. It also says that having these planets in this quadrant is extremely rare. And connecting everything together. Everything that's been unfolding on Earth, in this country, the events. Now we have this planetary alignment. The new moon is also here next week. We're in the age of Aquarius. We are officially in Aquarius season. It's, yes, the math is mathin'. You understand what I'm saying? And the facts is factin'. Okay? Don't let that go over your heads. Again, there are no coincidences. This has all been prophesized, and that is to say we are all here during a very, very special time on this planet. So with you being here, that means, and not everyone gets to come here. Not everyone gets to come here. God, source, creator, and the higher dimensional beings up there, they choose who gets to come here. There are other souls that are waiting online to come here. So keep that in mind when it comes to your purpose here and what you're supposed to do with your time here. Outside of learning your lessons, you are here for a reason. Don't you ever forget that. Doesn't mean you're going to go and become, I don't know, the first astronaut to whatever, travel to, I don't know, other galaxies, or like be the president. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've said this before too. Even your role in everyday life, living and breathing in your true essence, your true self, making high vibrational decisions, acknowledging the shadow side of you, working through that, balancing that. Your energy signature, that's what I like to call it, standing in that, it brings about high frequencies that adds to this planet. We all have a purpose here. But in terms of this planetary alignment, during these 2 months, there's a lot of heightened energy here at our disposal. Take advantage of that. And with the moon energy too, this is a time for reflection, a time of growing, a time of grounding yourself, a time to really take a look. Everything begins from within, like I've said, right? This is a great time. In fact, maybe the time you should really zero in on that. Think about who you are, the changes you need to make for yourself. A time for you to really think about what you need to let go of, whether it's not just people, it's patterns, behavior, and really do the healing. Really do the healing if you're not already. We're never all fully healed. We're always healing as life goes on, right? You know, life doesn't get easier. It just, life gets harder, or life can get hard, but it's the strength you learn and the emotional intelligence of knowing how to navigate life is what you gain through experience. But beginning that process through healing, do your inner shadow work. That's what that is. When you hear me say inner shadow work, it's working on yourself, looking in the mirror, right? It's not just about pointing the fingers and blaming other people. There's things you have to take accountability for too. The shadows, right? All of that is all grouped in together. And the final thing that's significant is it's an excellent moment to really tap into your spirituality. Sometimes when people hear others say spirituality, they start thinking of like woo-woo shit, right? It's not necessarily that. And I feel like because the energies are so strong, because all these planets are coming to alignment, that's naturally going to happen anyway. You can't help it. It's just so much energy. Plus the energy from the sun that's been shooting plasma and rays at us for the longest, which is adding to the elevation in the frequency. We're all in a blender of cosmic universal energy right now, especially this month and the next month with these planets aligning. I wouldn't be surprised if after come March, a lot of people are going to be awakened and going to want to be searching for the truth, the meaning of life, their souls and their spirits. And if you are, make sure you come to your girl. I got you. And I'll say this for another episode too. I already have it written down. I know. I say all the time, I gotta talk about this another topic, another episode. I have it all written down. So there's definitely gonna be an episode because I need to talk about sometimes when people hear spirituality, they equate it to religion. It's two separate things. So please don't let that be your immediate thought. Not ever in all my episodes have y'all heard me connect anything I say to a religion. Right? There's a reason for that. We'll get into that for another episode. So utilize this time appropriately. Okay? So on that note, I'm going to end this episode. Like I said, I'm going to do a... Sorry, I keep on checking on my hair, make sure it's look cute. Oh, by the way, you guys like the little setup I have now? So if you're listening on the podcast and not viewing the video, but if you're listening, you can watch the video on YouTube as well. But like, I was just getting I'm so OCD. Like, I need to make it matchy. And I was not feeling my logo. You know, my color, the colors of my logo is gold and like a light blue. Was not feeling the pink on the blue when I made social videos. So anyway, that's why I have this blue setup now. I think it's fire. So anyway, right now, I'm going to pull a card and connect with the energy and share what I feel needs to be shared for the collective right now. Okay? So this is actually like one of my favorite decks ever. And this is the first time I'm actually doing this publicly like this. Seriously, yeah. But listen. This time, like like I said, what I've seen, experienced in life so far from spirits, and what I'll share on the next couple of weeks in the upcoming episodes around my birthday. I'm gonna share exactly why I don't give a fuck anymore what people, not like I ever cared what people thought, but well, now as a healed person, but sharing modalities and things like this, like, yeah, nah. When I say I'm Zen going for my Jedi Jenny type shit, like, I mean that. I mean that sincerely. But we'll get into that on my birthday episode. So, okay, let's get a card. Let me just connect. Okay, already. Okay. So this card, I don't know if you can see it. Says to intend and create. Now, I already know the meaning of this, but I'm going to read it to you guys. So hopefully this can help you. Hold on, High Priest. What I'm getting first is that a lot of you guys out there are sitting on ideas. Plans. And this is the year you should really put them into action. This is a year for you to really step into your truth, whatever that is that you're creating. Maybe you might be scared. Maybe you might be hesitant, unsure of where it'll go, how it'll be received. This is the year for you to really step into who you are and put it out there. That's what I'm picking up strongly that's what I'm picking up right now strongly. And that was also a lesson for me. That, when I launched my Zen Gen podcast, I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure the majority of you know me from, music right? The music industry, hip hop, radio, and shit like that. Like, I mean, even though I was talking about this shit many, many years ago, but people weren't ready for it then. I'm sure a lot of people, shouts out to my brother, Shani Culture, because I had him on my first episode, and, you know, me and Shani was talking about all this shit way before in the hallways when I used to work at Hot 97. Like, this ain't new to us. But at the time when I dropped my first episode, my first Zen Gen podcast episode, like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, some shit like that. Like, it just wasn't the time. It wasn't the time. But I say that to say that, like, when I launched my podcast in the end of November, right? Beginning December, like, I wasn't sure how it was going to be received, but, you know, I'd trusted myself, trusted my spirit team, and I was like, it's in my heart, it's in my spirit. I know it's my calling. I know I've been called to do it already. So fuck it, I'm just gonna put this out and see how it goes. And I say that to say it with you guys out there. Like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of testing the waters. How will you know where it'll head, where it'll go, or how it'll end up if you don't try? Right? You gotta try. You gotta see. You'll be wondering forever, what if I did this? What if I did that? And the fact that it's something that you love, whatever you're trying to create, it's, I'm sure, a passion project of yours. It's in your heart that you're going to make sure you do everything you can to get it out there. And listen, your spirit team, because it's a passion within your heart and your spirit is being called to do it, your spirit team is going to assist you and help you in putting it out there and getting it to where it needs to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything online, right? Social. It could be anything you're doing, like, that's not on the internet. It's whatever this might be. Launch that shit. Start putting it together. Work out your business plan. Start structuring. Like, get going. Get going. Because you even working on or putting energy behind something that you love, that you feel being called to, that also, again, adds to the vibrations of Mother Earth, this planet. Helps to raise it. All of that. All of that. I'm getting an image of, like, you know how you're charging, like, let's say my laptop, you're charging something, right? And it's like each minute that passes by, the battery starts filling up even more, even more, even more. That's how it is when we're all stepping into our power, stepping into what we feel connected to, stepping into our happiness outside of people, places, things, like projects, work, right? Stepping into that, it's charging up the battery, so to speak, charging up the frequencies here, the vibrations here. Okay, so I'm going to read the card to you guys, okay? Recognize that you have the power to change your life. Face your fear and align with the light. Oh, this is pretty profound. Okay. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, and it's important for you to know that you are more powerful and connected than you may think. Side note, this is a great message because I was just talking about the cosmic energies that's coming in this month and next month when all these planets align. So, and how it's a great time to really explore your spirituality. We're not just our 9-to-5s. We're not just our social security numbers, our birth certificate, you feel me? We all are unique souls. Spirits. We're spirits residing in a vessel. Everything you are giving attention and energy to at this time is creating your way forward. There have been some setbacks, but accept these as experiences that have led you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your spirit. Know that you're being guided by the ancestors to direct your thoughts and energies towards what you want to grow, heal, and expand. And then watch it happen right before your eyes. Okay? That's the message for the collective that's listening or watching right now. I'm probably going to do this each week. Some cards might come up again. Some of the same cards might not. Some might. Like I just did, I'm going to just feel into what else that I feel called to tell you guys. But as you see, it all goes hand in hand. Like, don't be afraid of the parts of you that you've neglected, and don't be afraid to look in that mirror, right? And take a look at yourself and do the work and do the healing. And remember, we are all spiritual beings, and you will come to see that for sure. And don't be afraid to put whatever it is you love, your passions, out there into this world. We need more of that. All right? So I hope you leave this episode enlightened. And remember, unity, unification. That's the energy we need to be in right now. And also use this time to explore yourself. Dig deep within. And if you feel like you dug deep enough, dig even deeper. It's only going to be beneficial in helping you return back to who you are. So everything begins from within. All right, I'll see you in the next episode. Love and light. Peace.